single shot of a pistol is all it takes to take a life, start a war. Aye, the pistol shot that killed Miranda Hamilton took 2 lives that day. Hers, and that of the English Captain James McGrath. His body is now inflamed with the spirit of vengeance under the name of Flint. It's Black Sails, Season 3, Episode 1, 19. So, the Season 3 opener of Black Sails posits the opening volleys of the concept posed at the very beginning of the series. The world at war with piracy. Now, taking place several months after the attack on Charleston, Flint and company have already returned to Nassau and confronted Jack Rackham on his surreptitious retrieval of the Urk of Gold. But with the coming war, conflict between pirates only helps the enemy. And so now, a tenuous alliance has been reached between Flint, Rackham, and Charles Vane for the defense of the pirate haven. Now, Flint and the crew of the Walrus are rampaging across the Caribbean and the Southern American coast, laying waste to any town or magistrate that might levy capital punishment against a pirate. His reign has been extensive and effective, led with a simple message. Hang a pirate, and Flint will come for you. Arthur Ashe's betrayal and the death of Miranda lay heavy on his head, and it seems revenge is the only fuel for Flint at this point. Let's face it, emotional decision-making never really ends well. Now, Silver, for his part, is still dealing with this brand new peg leg. Not necessarily very well. Now, his part in Rackham's acquisition of the Urk of Gold has not yet been revealed, so this could pose potential problems for him in the future. But in the meanwhile, his sacrifice on behalf of the crew has ingratiated him within their folds, and he's now accepted their new role as quartermaster. Now, Flint appreciates this, but not so much as to allow Silver to dictate his actions. Rackham, in the meantime, his part in the alliance is dealing with the defense of Nassau and the Spanish hoard of gold they've recently acquired. More specifically, he's in charge of repairing the fort that has several holes in it due to the events of last season. Now, he's also discovering that the imaginings of having a thing and the realities of actually having that thing are often very different. And so he might think that while now being in control of this large amount of wealth would allow him to do anything, his ability to influence the pirates of Nassau, either through charisma, inspiration, or intimidation, means that the workers are all asking for more and more and are willing to do less and less. Now Max, who at this point has stepped into the void created when Eleanor Guthrie was abducted by Hornigold and Dufresne and handed over to the English Navy, is starting to lose faith in his ability to get anything done. And this is leaving Anne Bonny right in the middle between the two of them. Rackham's only solution happened to involve acquiring a shipload of slaves. His potential mistake was in having Charles Vane be the one that picks them up. Now, Vane was raised as a slave himself, and he has no love for slavers. So, not really excited about Jack's request for him. But in a really nice scene between the two former shipmates, Jack is able to convince Vane that this is the only solution available to him. The pirates won't do the work. They need protection now. And this seems to be the only solution that Jack can come up with. Of course, why they didn't just offer to free the slaves and then pay them a wage on condition of them repairing the fort, I have no idea. It's the first thing that I thought of. But, you know, I guess this is just building drama. And Finally, we have Eleanor Guthrie, who has been the subject of a sensationalized London trial for her role as the Queen of Thieves. Between that and the months of dealing with English prison food, it's no wonder that she is able to jump a pardon offered to her by pirate hunter and future New Providence Governor Woodes Rogers. The real question is, whose name did she write down on that piece of paper? Woodes wants to bring civilization to Nassau, and Eleanor said, as long as this man's alive, you cannot succeed. Now we might think that this is Vane because of their history, the fact that Vane had killed Richard Guthrie, Eleanor's father, and the quick cut scene immediately to Vane's face right after the line was said. Very easy to understand that. But this could also potentially be Flint. I mean, Flint has been pushing for the independence of Nassau, for the independence of the pirates since the very beginning. So he might be the obstacle that Eleanor is referring to. We'll have to sort of wait and see. Now, in some ways, the characters are all dealing with the realities of getting what it is that they wanted. The English crown offering pardons to the pirates, the self-rule of Nassau. This was the dream that Flint, Miranda, and Tom Hamilton originally envisioned. But with their deaths, it's too little too late. And Flint sees no reason why, as he tells his crew, he and his men should accept pardons from those who ostensibly fear them, especially when those pardons are being offered by the men that betrayed Eleanor, and at a cannon's barrel point. Now, Flint would rather risk a ship-killing storm than face that kind of defeat. Plus, it evens the odds. Now, Silver does have his share of the Urca gold, unbeknownst to most, and he's gained the respect of the Walrus crew. But relationships are kind of a funny thing, and he's discovering that he needs them a lot more than he thought. Kind of hard to walk away from that. Sorry. Now, Vane has the respect, the power, and the freedom that he has searched for. But he's discovering that defending that power may mean making certain compromises you wish you didn't have to. And while Max has stepped into the role of Eleanor Guthrie, she's finding that that role carries with it a lot of responsibility. And as for Eleanor, well, yeah, she used to be on top, but she's discovering that that just means all of your enemy's focus is put squarely on you. And bookending this adventure, this season opener, is the introduction of Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard, played by Ray Stevenson. Now, we didn't get to see much of Blackbeard in this episode. We only learned a few things, though. He's eloquent, well-spoken, educated, and brutal. This is a man to be reckoned with. And as we find out at the very end of the episode, he's got his sights set on Charles Vane. So, overall, a good episode. Strong acting, strong writing as usual. But really, this episode is meant to set the stage for the events that are going to play out over the course of the season, and possibly in through season 4, because that's already been greenlit. The English want to take back Nassau and cleanse the world of piracy. The pirates want to maintain their independence and way of life. Aye, war is coming. I be Dee. If you enjoyed what I had to say, please hit that there like button. Subscribe if that be your desires. And feel free to mention comments in the section below. I be reading them all the time. This is Dee, and I'll see you next week on the next episode of Black Sails.